Welcome back to the Sunny 16 show, everyone. Today we are talking about cameras, camera trends, camera attributes, things that we would like to see in 2023 that camera companies should include, features that we would like that would make cameras better, features that you might like to make cameras better. Cameras are really good, but there's always room for improvement, and companies, some more than others, like to hold back features. And today we're gonna break down the wall.
Yeah, so obviously Taylor's not here today as well. She's out sick, but we still wanted to send the pod. And yeah, we love you, Tay. Feel better. So we're talking about camera trends that we'd like to see in 2023.
I have one.
Joshua, I feel like this is your episode.
That's true.
This is Joshua's episode.
Yes and no. I mean, I don't really care.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to say anything in the rest of the episode.
No, go for it. You had something to say.
Okay, the one thing I wish every camera had, regardless of other specs, is shooting open gate. Shooting the full sensor.
Yeah, full sensor.
Like having the ability to shoot the full sensor just seems like it should be a prerequisite for every camera.
That should be
do it.
Yeah, that should be the next trend, because if social media
and if you don't know what open gate is,
living,
it's just a lot of cameras will crop in 16:9 on the sensor, and open gate lets you shoot the whole sensor and lets you then crop in after. And then if you're shooting an anamorphic lens or you want to reframe for post, it's just nice.
What, Joshua?
No, I had this one dude. Some people on YouTube are such douches, and they think they know everything. So this one dude was like,
let it fly, bro.
This one dude was like,
yo,
he was like, you're so wrong. 16:9 is wider than open gate. I'm like, what are you talking about? He was just honing it. So, dude, you're wrong about 16:9 and open gate being wider or whatever. I'm like, dude, 3.2 is not 3.2 is 16:9, but with height.
Yeah. So a camera, the sensor.
Yeah.
The sensor is when you take a photo, typically a photo is taken in 3.2, right?
Yes.
Right,
so that's a full frame sensor.
Yeah.
And then that's 3.2, and then you crop in to go 16:9. But you're just saying open gate is shooting video
full
in the photo size
of the
whole sensor.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. And one thing that's nice is because, and we've experienced this on some of our past shoots, is like, hey, we want to frame for the vertical and the horizontal in the single shot. And being able to shoot open gate gives you a little more height for the vertical frame while also giving you a nice horizontal.
It's tough trying to keep tough trying to keep vertical and horizontal in 16:9. It is tough.
Yeah,
that's why 3.2
is really tough.
Isn't there a camera that shoots both? Or I thought there was some random Canon camera. Oh no, it was just a vertical sensor in the camera, but it was like the camera was held like normal direction.
What?
I think a camera came out, or there was a rumor of like essentially a flipped sensor, but the body still looked the same.
Well, if we haven't heard of it, it clearly didn't do well.
I have no idea.
Or like something happened in production or something.
Let me look it up.
Also, do you guys remember when Kodak was going to come out with a new Super 8? And that just hasn't happened.
Yeah,
it hasn't happened.
That just hasn't happened. It's just like they just killed it. I'm like, I just like why. I just feel like Kodak. I have a kind of a bone to pick because I feel like they could
a huge bone.
They could be doing so much more to help this whole.
It was a vertical
revitalization.
They hired 300 employees to help process film. I think to do like film processing and.
I think everyone's figured out film processing though. Like there's a bunch of labs. Like what you need
I think
is like new gear.
Going back to
300 people. Yeah.
Going back to this Canon thing. Is this a April Fool's joke? Like what?
No, so it was from 2020.
Wait, did Caleb get totally bought by this thing? That's funny.
A 5.4 sensor?
I mean, dude,
dedicated for
it
Instagram?
It could happen. Like, why not?
That makes no sense.
You could see Snapchat. You know how Snapchat had like the Snapchat glasses and stuff. You could see Snapchat coming out with just a vertical camera. Kind of a gag.
All right. What else do we want to see?
Someone else go.
What else? Okay, I like your idea, then, Niles. I like open gate.
You.
I agree.
Thank you.
More. So right now, XH2S has open gate in kind of the more.
XH2S
and also
all the
high-end
Z
cinema
cams,
cameras.
All the Z cams have open gate.
Red Komodo.
Red Komodo doesn't have open gate. It's a slightly larger.
That's just crazy. Like why not?
It's a 17:9 sensor, not a 16, not a 3.2.
Oh, 17.
Yeah.
So it's like a tiny bit.
Just a little different.
Isn't like the Panasonic like GH5 aren't those 17:9 sensors too?
Open gate as well. They use open gate for the anamorphic modes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So Panasonic, what up? I feel like if Panasonic could nail their autofocus,
Yeah, that would
I
be
would
a
reconsider.
super camera. But I just don't like
What is the
Panasonic
log
colors.
profile for Panasonic? Is it
Vlog.
P-log.
Of course it is.
It's Vlog. I don't like
Vlog,
Vlog.
okay.
I don't like the colors out of Panasonic.
C-log.
P-log would be funny. Plog.
Another trend
would
I would like to
like-
see when we talk about like mirrorless cameras that are close to cinema cameras, just have built-in NDs. Like,
Right.
That's
like,
what I
just
was
have a
going to say.
built-in ND.
Yeah, I was going to say
At
that.
this point, it's
Guys,
like the FX3 should have built-in NDs.
The camera would be
And
bigger,
companies
and I
are
would
making
like
those.
it to be
Yeah,
bigger.
we want a little like
Yeah.
a little chunky little, not even a brick,
Right.
but like
A little.
something a little bit bigger than this, and then like have a built-in, you know,
Yes.
modular thing, and then have a
I
built-in fan or
really
whatever.
miss my built-in NDs.
More
from,
girth.
from my C200.
More girth, right,
More
Joshua?
girth. We want the girth.
Yeah, Joshua loves girth. I
Yeah,
think, I just
yeah.
like my FX3 having to use a variable ND and just seeing sometimes the sky just looks dark blue in some corners and
man,
it's
it's
cross polar. It's
so
just like,
nasty.
oh. Yeah,
That's why
I
it's
just
hard
don't
for
like
me to
it.
give up my 6K Pro because it's so convenient having internal NDs.
Right.
6 stops of
Right.
internal NDs in a small.
Also, this sounds
DSLR
so.
body.
This sounds so dumb, but like when you shoot with like cool lenses or vintage lenses, and you're like a YouTuber and you want to shoot a shot and you're outside of your gear, you don't want a big old ND filter on the end of it. It looks
Yeah,
so
it looks
nice
so-
when it's just like the cool vintage lens, but then the ND filter's behind it to like actually see the rig.
Yeah.
It also is just annoying for like all the
but-
step up rings you need. How many filters like do you you know like do you buy just a couple that are 77 millimeter, then have a bunch of step up rings, and then you're always tinkering because you always have the wrong combination. When like if you have the NDs just behind your lens in front of the sensor, it's just like click,
Okay,
click, click, and you're
Dave,
good to go.
Joshua, Dave in the chat says, "Give me autofocus on my 6K Pro and I'm good."
No.
Pretty solid, but
No?
but I don't actually like.
No.
On the Blackmagic 6K
Yeah,
Pro,
but
if it had
you
autofocus,
love that camera.
You love that camera.
Let him
I
speak.
do, but
let
I
him
don't
speak,
need
let him speak.
autofocus on it. The camera's not. You don't want to. That camera's not intended to be a run and gun content creation camera. It's
We're talking
intended
about
to
the
be
Blackmagic 6K Pro, by the way.
the
just saying.
6K Pro. Yeah, where it's meant to be like your dedicated, more traditional style camera that you want to pull your own focus on. Cause
Wait,
that's what it's for.
That to me is so funny. Because it's like, oh, you actually don't want the better feature just because
It's not a better
made for
feature,
it, and
it's more
like,
complicated.
And
People
it's like
think
more
autofocus-
core to pull your own focus. Like that. To
It
me
is
so
because
funny.
if
Like,
you're going to be
it's
on
just-
set, look, if you're going to be on set in a more like in the traditional
Yeah.
commercial space, short film space, you're pulling your own. You have a first AC pulling your focus. You're not relying on autofocus.
But wouldn't you like the option to then
No.
turn on autofocus if you didn't have it?
Then that means that 6K Pro has to have a flip out screen because I can't see myself. I still can't trust the autofocus. The screen is
Well,
still
not like
fixed
a
to the
not
back.
like
Agreed with
shooting
that,
yourself,
yeah.
but like let's
Yeah, I
say
agree.
you're on set, you're shooting like a run and gun doc because it's this amazing story that you have to shoot that you're really close to, and you don't have autofocus. But if you did, it would make helping directing and cam op like
I
I'm-
see.
like
I see both points.
right because like if you're shooting it by yourself, which a lot of people are just like solo making like a commercial style doc or a video they just are proud they want to be proud of, and they don't have a whole crew,
Yeah.
and autofocus would be nice.
Yes and
There
no.
is something to be said about learning to like pull focus and
That's
like
true.
learning some of the
Yeah.
basics of like instead of like tapping a screen and it pulls focus. I
Exactly.
feel
Right.
like to Joshua's point, it is really simple and actually sometimes easier just to be
It's
like
easier.
when your shots are all
Totally.
planned out and you have storyboards even, it's just like we're manual focus, we're pulling focus.
Right, and also missing
but
focus.
to Niall's point,
missing focus manually looks way better than missing focus with auto. Like if
because it's
if
going to hunt.
autofocus
It's going to
misses,
see the
it looks
fish.
bad.
It's trying to. It's
Yeah.
like it's,
It's
trying
like
to figure out
oh,
what's
it's
going
hunting.
on.
It looks like garbage.
Yeah.
That shot's ruined.
Yeah, like
versus if you
autofocus
miss a
in the
little bit.
whole-
Yeah.
Yeah, autofocus as a whole. I mean, Sony's king of the hill right now, and they've done a
Right.
fantastic job. But
It's
like,
good.
there still isn't enough AI power, I think, for it to be intelligent, to be smart enough to keep focus or know where to focus. You know what I'm saying? Because like, you still have to kind of manually tap where you need to go, and if you
Dude, the
screw
eye
that up-
tracking though, the eye tracking is unmatched, I would say. But
Sure.
also, it's like you don't always want to focus on your subject. It kind of is somewhat creatively limiting, where it's like
yeah, it's
maybe
about
you want to
control,
focus on something
right?
else. Yeah.
Anything auto, it scares me.
Right. And then also if you're racking from a subject to something else, you want to do that manually versus like tap. you know, because you'd have less control over the tapping.
One thing I'd like to see, because this is like I don't even know if it's been done or can be done. I have no idea. But you know how so many people are now using wireless labs, whether that's content creation or just whatever. Why can't the camera have the built-in transmitter like in its own body? So you don't have to have like an extra thingy. You buy like a Sony branded thing or for your camera, but the transmitter is like in it.
Oh, that's cool.
Does that
That's
make
kind of
sense?
cool.
That's
I mean, I
cool.
can see that being a bigger camera
I haven't heard of that.
because I guess
I mean, I haven't either. I just thought,
cooling might be an issue with that, but that'd be kind of cool. You know what I mean?
I mean, imagine, because we plug in all these external mic. I actually too wish the internal mics, they're getting good, but like an iPhone's internal mic is actually pretty usable for like scratch audio.
Right.
Some internal mics, I just have stopped like listening to like no one uses an internal mic, right? Like I wish the internal mic was just like a little better or twice as good as what it is now, and then I'd
Yeah.
stop putting a big old shotgun on my
Yeah.
camera.
Speaking of mics,
I'm just thinking audio stuff. But.
like Sony, I think Sony's done a lot in terms of like pushing the boundaries with accessories and their cameras and stuff. So like the one mic that I really think is cool that Sony introduced is that cordless small hot shotgun mic, like
Hot shoe
having
mic.
that technology there. Like more cameras should do that. Like I'm tired of plugging in my little 3.5 jack. Like have it all communicate through the camera. So kind of going to your point, like just have more more smart features out of the camera, and with the
The
accessories you have.
3.5 jack too is like so untrustworthy. Like you hear
Oh
so
my
much
gosh.
hissing. Like an XLR is just so superior. to that.
Yeah.
Where
or just a digital
yeah,
signal.
it's almost like
yeah.
But XLR technology is old. So I guess to your point, Caleb, in my mind, I was like, oh, every camera should have XLRs, but those are big and like you
Those
need
are big.
inputs. You
And
need
the
a
mini
massive
ones are too-
interface.
the
I
mini ones are
agree with
flimsy.
that though too. I like XLR.
Right,
Yeah.
but it's just more trustworthy, but it makes the camera bigger. So something there to mitigate that would be like a way better built-in internal mic that isn't just like 3 little holes on like the side of your camera. 'Cause that's how like they all are. It's like they're
Yeah.
tiny. Like right now I'm using scratch audio on this FX3, and if Caleb wants to cut to
Yeah.
it, this is what it sounds like, and it sounds terrible.
Yeah,
But it
I'm
could sound
using
good.
scratch audio, and this is what mine sounds like. And it might sound okay because I got carpet in this room, but
Right. What's your scratch audio sound like, Joshua?
On what camera?
The one you're using?
the one you're recording on.
Wait, what?
I think if they could make a screen, like the flip out screen for like shooting like an inch bigger, at least, would be really nice.
just think
I mean, I don't know. I
cameras-
like the portability size, but
I just think like mirrorless cameras in
the
general should be a
Blackmagic
little bit
6K
bigger.
screen is nice.
The Blackmagic
I do
6
too,
is
yeah,
bigger,
just like-
it just can't move.
Yeah. Like if there's
I
a
have
camera
wanted
that
to
was
shoot with
in
the
between
C70.
these two-
I'm just gonna.
Wow, we're just talking all over each other. My bad.
Yeah, my bad. Trying to get better at that. A lot of comments say like, "You guys, I can't even." Sorry.
And it's like, sorry,
There's lag.
We can't either. Imagine being us. Like, you think this is how we want to live?
It's
Like,
hard.
I'm sorry that you
And also-
can't hear us. We can't think. So I don't know what you want.
Also, when we are in the same location, naturally a conversation
Yeah.
like you don't talk over each other because
Right.
you can like sense it. But
Yeah,
Right.
we have a delay
Anyways.
here, so. Oh come
yeah,
on!
unsubscribe.
You said that you wanted to try out the C70 right after talking about flip out screens, which I've heard that is one of the worst flip out screens. It's super flimsy.
Oh,
I have a
it
lot of
is.
people break those.
It moves.
Yeah,
man.
it's like one little
But-
hinge
It's like a
with
diving
little
board.
screw.
Yeah.
It's like a diving board. It just moves.
So you
Yeah,
have this
no,
beautiful
that-
camera, and then you move it, and the screen's like flopping.
Doing, yeah.
But for whatever reason, I've always liked, to Joshua's point of like a girthy body.
Yeah,
I've liked
right.
holding like the bigger Canon bodies, the bigger like the 1DX,
Oh,
like
I
that,
love that
even
1DX.
man, those just like felt so solid.
And there's
Yeah.
just
You
something
felt
about
like you
showing
could
up to
create
set.
content, dude.
1DX. With a girthy body.
There's something about showing up to set with a girthy rig, right?
Yeah.
You know, you show up to set, you got a
chunky.
girthy rig. It
Joshua
just looks
knows
like
all
you know
about
what
it,
you're
dude.
doing.
Yes. Give me
Versus
the
like you
girth.
roll up to set, you just have like a Rode mic on your A7S3, and you're like, okay, I'm here. You know,
It's
everyone's
very
just like,
capable, but yeah.
Even though you can
the
make,
image
like,
might look the
amazing
exact
looking
same.
footage.
That's what's
Yeah.
funny, but it's just a perception thing.
I hate that.
Guys, have you tried
hate
any
that I
of the
don't
new
have a
Canon
girthy
cameras?
No,
I feel like
I have
Canon to me,
not
I just like have
touched any
forgotten
Canon
about, and
cameras.
it's like the
Yeah.
R5, R5C, R7, you know, R7C.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like there's so many Canon cameras now, and I've tried none of them.
Yeah.
I literally think like just Eric Floberg shoots on Canon cameras.
That's all they
And
shoot on.
Peter
They have-
McKinnon. and Pete,
Peter.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Or did he switch to Leica?
Yeah, no.
I feel like he just
No,
had
no,
like
no.
No,
Leica
he has a
switch. I don't
Leica,
know.
but he uses still Canon.
He's sponsored by Canon.
Yeah, Canon kind of owns him.
I think,
Canon Canada.
I think when he did not to get into like YouTube drama here, but when Canon came out with the camera, and that day he dropped his Leica video. So I think there must have been
That's
like
awesome.
they didn't want to pay him
I
for
love
another
that.
video, and he was like, okay, I'll do one about Leica, and it crushed. I thought that was kind of
That's
savage.
amazing.
Yeah, I love that. Go Pete.
Pete.
But yeah, it's just funny because I was such a Canon boy forever. I
think we all were.
My first camera was a Canon 7D, and then I had a 5D Mark III, and then I had another 5D Mark III, and then I got a 7D Mark II, which Caleb always makes fun of me. But I didn't really know anything about cameras, and I was just buying it for. I literally bought it for 1080-60 for weddings.
1080-60.
Yeah, and then all those cameras got stolen in Portland. I still haven't forgotten about that. And then I bought a 1DX Mark II.
Dang.
And then after that, I bought a C200.
Yeah.
And then I bought an FX3. That's been my camera. Welcome to my
That's your
camera
whole
journey,
camera
guys. It's a hero's journey.
Dang.
That's your family tree of cameras.
What's your family tree of cameras, Joshua? It has to be just really crazy.
Not really. I feel like everybody thinks that. I've only owned
He has them all still.
4 brands in my whole lifetime. I mean, I don't have them all, no. Like, it went from my very first camera was a Canon Rebel T1i.
Hell yeah.
And then it jumped to a Nikon
yeah.
D7000. Then I got a D750 from Nikon.
Wait, you had a Nikon? Bro?
Oh yeah,
didn't
I
know
was
that.
straight up.
I
Nikon.
actually-
I freaking
I actually
loved the
just
D750.
blasphemed. I just blasphemed a little bit. My previous one, my first camera was the Nikon D90. So I'm
Hey,
sorry.
hey,
And
there
I've
you
told
go.
that story on the pod. So.
Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah.
I want to try the Nikon Z9.
The Z9 I've been hearing
yeah.
good things about, but yeah, I had a
It looks
D750
insane,
for like 4
especially
years,
for photos.
and then after that, I switched to the Panasonic GH5. Then from that to the Pocket 4K, and then Zcam, so the Zcam
Yep,
F6
there it is.
and S6, and then back to Blackmagic, and then now I have Fuji and Blackmagic.
I remember the first thing Joshua ever told me that offended me, which there's been a lot of things, was that he thinks Canon colors are ugly. And I
They're
was like, what?
no, they're not ugly. They're safe.
Boring. You said
They're
boring.
boring.
Canon colors are boring.
They're
Yeah.
safe. But
Yeah,
big shout
I
out
was
to
so offended.
Eric Floberg. He has some really nice LUTs for the Canon system, because Canon colors out of camera, they're just like dull. They're just like, they're accurate. They're okay. They're cool.
I did watch a video last night of mine where I shot. It was a mix of C200 and FX3, and I was looking at the C200, and I was just like, I just like the colors more. Like I just like
Yeah.
the FX3. Just it's like there's something about that sensor that just doesn't quite meet the like. It was like too
it
sharp.
comes down
Like-
to,
like-
do you like more magenta versus more green? That's what it comes down
right
to.
and just paired with like a lens made this year, sharp, with that sensor, it just like you could literally like see pores in his head, and it's just like it's too sharp. Like the whole thing is just like it just looks too digi, you know. And I'm like, I just don't want that.
Digital.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a
I
I
got one-
actually wanted for a long time the EOS R. People rock just the EOS
Yeah,
R.
I have that
Just
camera.
That
Why am I forgetting all these cameras? I literally have that
Dude,
camera.
you've
That's like
had
what
more
we use for
cameras
our-
than me.
yeah, dude.
You listed like
Chill.
12.
I got a
cameras,
sick
bro.
ass family tree, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't have enough. I've had like if we're talking about just video cameras, I've only had 6.
And there's been a little infidelity in my family tree too. A lot of
Oh my
brand
gosh.
switching.
Dude, I have. Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, what?
That's promise for this.
I think I was
Infidelity in
gonna
my
say
family
something.
tree. Suddenly there's a new camera brand.
No,
It's like, wait, what
no
happened?
more Pro Mist. Sorry, somebody in the
I like
chat.
the Pro Mist. The 1/8 Pro Mist is great, especially if you
Look,
shoot a lot
actually,
of corporate
no.
look and you want to
Look.
just give a little look.
Look at me.
great.
Look at me. Look at me. Let me tell you something.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do
Look
it.
at
Look at this dog.
I'm not gonna do it.
Look at me, Niles. Look at me.
Okay,
looking.
wait. This could be a good short. Let Joshua riff. Why do you
Okay.
hate Pro Mist?
No, it's just that when people
let him have it. Let him have it. Let him have
There's
it.
been this lie going around that Pro Mist will make your video look more like film, and that's not true. Because what it's doing, Pro Mist is lifting your shadows, and film was known to have contrast still, but have bloomy highlights. So you want to use glimmer glass that only affects the highlights and keeps your contrast to a minimum. That's what you want. and it just gets so mucky.
You
and
heard it
muddy
here
on
first,
digital, on
folks.
digital sensors. Like, cool. Yeah, I've used it. I use Cine Bloom. That's kind of like a Pro Mist type thing. But
Right.
you know, it just all looks the same after a while. So just kind of
Right.
divvy it up. Do something different.
And I do
Get
think
out
when
there.
it comes to cameras, you're just like Pro Mist looked unique until everyone started making
everybody
videos
started
about
doing
it, and then everyone starts using it, and no longer
Yeah.
is a unique look. So then everyone's like, don't use Pro Mist anymore. Like it's just the trends of looks,
It's that
right?
swing, that
and I
pendulum
feel like
swing. I actually-
yes. And what you're always trying to do is
I
just make
really
your
like
footage look
the
a little
moment-
different.
The moment Cine Bloom 10% is like, I'm literally,
I like the 5%.
I love it.
Right.
The 5%
No,
is closer to a glimmer glass.
The 5% is what I kind of lives on my camera the most, and then the 10 and the 20 I just put on for like specific.
It is so
things.
good to have some type of modifier for these digital sensors
Yeah,
now that they're
absolutely,
getting newer
yeah.
and newer.
Yeah.
And
It's
again,
pretty
it's
nice.
just about having the look of what you make be
Yeah.
a little different than what everyone else is making. Because if you're just making what
Yeah,
everyone
I
else
mean,
is
and
making,
it-
it's just like.
But
you
also
just,
the
kinda just
look
gets-
comes from also like the lens, how you light something,
yeah.
like all those,
Right.
Yeah,
how you
yeah,
have
yeah.
your set
Oh, yeah.
design, like that.
Oh,
The look has so many different factors, not
Keep
just
talking,
the image.
baby.
Whoa, talk dirty to me, Rick
Yo, let
Daddy.
me tell you about set design. real
Keep
quick. Let me talk
talking.
about
Keep
props,
talking
my
about-
guy.
Oh, I love when Rick Daddy talks dirty to us.
Oh my. Okay.
I love when Rick Jenny talks about gear.
Oh, dude, there's just nothing like a Rig Daddy on a Tuesday morning talking.
Dude, talk to me more about a C stand.
Yo, this is a lot. This is a lot.
Okay, are there
Love
any
that,
other
love
features
that.
you want to see camera companies implement? I mean,
I think baked in.
what about
LUTs
12-bit? What
as-
about 12-bit? Should be able to
Is the
shoot 12-bit
consumer
internally.
is the consumer level ready for 12-bit?
I
Black
mean,
Magic
being able to
did
shoot
it.
12-bit, yeah. I mean, being able to shoot 12-bit, I think, consumer level probably not, but it'd be awesome to have more cameras be able to shoot that. 10-bit's
Yeah.
great, 12-bit's
Yeah.
even better. So that'd be one thing that'd be nice. Maybe, you can do that with an external recorder, but it'd be awesome to have 12-bit as an option. Just get so
Yeah.
much more room.
I mean, I feel like
color correct.
10-bit 422 is really solid.
It's great.
To be honest, yeah,
it's great.
really solid.
But the 12-bit RAW on the C200 it looked
yeah,
amazing.
there's a
looked
jump.
so good.
Yeah.
So like,
You know what I liked about? You know what I like? Okay. Oh, wow. There was such a lag. Were you guys done?
I think Caleb's been the one who's been
Lagging.
the
My internet's
great
been off.
interrupter today.
Yeah.
Or the great talker
Always.
over. Yeah.
Wait.
Well,
actually,
I'll just go then because I'm gonna.
Oh, what?
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 Oh,
What I would actually really like to see more cameras doing is how Sony, when they came out with the FX3, there was some extra quarter 20s all over it. It looked great. It like the color was cool. I like that. That was a
Right.
cool change up. Every
Yeah.
camera's been just a black box that kind of looks the same.
Right.
When Sony came out with the FX3, I literally was like, that looks
sick.
That looks awesome.
looks
It's
sick.
like this little chunky box.
Right.
Yeah, it looks sick. And it had like I bought a little cage for my A7 IV. Like
Right.
you got to have that. I like the forward thinking of like a little more innovation or like adding accessories and letting the user put on a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right.
In that sense, so like if other cameras, if they're not built-in features, giving us the option to like almost like add it on.
There was this camera
With ease.
company years ago called the Craft camera. I don't know if you ever heard it. This was a company
never
that
heard
was
of it.
trying to make the first ever modular camera system. Like a little bit different from Red because Red's technically modular. You have the brain and
Right.
everything else. This had panels. So like you had a sensor panel, you had a card reading panel, you had a battery panel and something else, right? And it looked like a caterpillar that you just kind of like connected. And I was all for it.
Great
But
analogy.
then I realized it was probably a scam because all it had was renders, and then like it said pre-order here, and it'll come out in 2022. And this was like in 2016, and it was like 2022, like that's like 6 years from now. What the heck?
It is funny that like Sony and Fuji don't make their own like cages. Like it would be a
No.
very Apple thing. If Apple made a camera, they would make like an ecosystem around it.
They
And
would.
it is funny that like Sony,
Right.
Fuji, Canon, they haven't really done. They have the lenses, they have straps, they have stuff like that, but they haven't really.
Sony
built-
did that mic, like Joshua was saying, the like
Right.
the hot shoe mic.
So you think like eventually they're gonna want like every company in the capitalistic mindset, which is like about growth, which is fine. It's just like we need to grow. So it's like you think they're gonna eventually make that stuff, but
No.
it's like Tilta, Condor
'Cause
Blue, all these brands they make accessories for these cameras. Like why doesn't Sony make their own cage? Like why don't they give you your own cheese plate on the camera or something?
Yeah.
Like that would be helpful. It'd be helpful.
Yeah. I mean, yes and
But
no.
to a
like,
consumer, maybe they're like, "What? Why do I have all these screw holes?"
Yeah, true.
Dude, I just had a thought for whatever reason. Imagine if does Sony make TVs, right? They
Yeah.
make TVs and
Yes.
stuff too.
They make a lot of.
Imagine if you had a cage for your TV and you put like accessories on the outside of like, I don't know why.
What would you put on your TV as an accessory?
Oh, I just imagine Joshua rigging out like a massive TV.
You know what
don't
you
rig
could put
everything.
is like a
I have no idea.
is like a big
Kinda
ring
do,
light,
actually.
because if you
A
were playing
fan?
if you were playing video games on your TV and you wanted to stream because it wasn't a computer, you could
Oh,
put
that's
a ring
true.
light
Yeah, you
off
could
there.
put a ring light. Yeah, you could.
But you can also just put that
build a
LCD
bracket
stand.
behind there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, I don't know if I can think of any more things I'd like to see in 2023.
I like Fuji's like color emulations. I feel like no one's really touching that yet.
Oh,
They
that's
still
true.
are killing it.
Like
Like
the
on
film emulation.
photo-
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sony
talking,
tried
like,
to
more
do that. They had their
photo-based
own
stuff.
picture profile color stuff. Didn't Sony try to do that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They got all their
Yeah, no,
PPs.
yeah, that's like
they
the something
throw in there.
special.
Oh
with-
yeah, they got their
with
PPs.
Fuji.
Yeah.
Their PPs.
Sony does have their PPs, while Fuji has their film emulations.
Yeah, their PPs.
I'm 10 years old. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Just Sony and their PPs at the end of the day.
Just the way Niles is just saying it in a way to try to make me laugh too. Guys, whatever happened? Yeah, never mind. I was gonna say like, whatever happened to that Sony drone? But who cares about drones?
Oh,
Whatever
it's
happened to
out.
that GoPro
It's out.
drone?
You know, it's
we're not
out.
even allowed to like fly drones anymore.
Yeah.
Mm.
Are you?
That Sony drone's
I feel
out.
like-
You know, the Alta. What is it called?
Yeah. I don't know. Just like less YouTubers, like I feel like are pushing drones because, unless that's like their thing.
Yeah, they're
'cause I
cracking
feel
down.
like you
I mean,
get in
but the
trouble.
is it the FAA? Is this called the FAA?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, aren't they? They're cracking down on a lot of,
They are.
drone licensing because they
I've
change that
seen-
thing like every year.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like
And it's
I've
like you
seen
have like
more.
a pilot's license when you're
yeah,
not flying planes.
I
flying
tried to
around.
study for that.
Also, like
No.
I feel like the FPV stuff is like the new anyone who
I
loved
do
drones
wanna get into
6 years ago
FPV.
is now flying FPV.
Yeah,
It's like that's
I
been
do
the
wanna get into
transition.
that, Yeah.
Yeah. That's a
But
good
even
point.
FPV, I'm starting to get a little like, okay, I've seen it. You know, it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's like that stuff only has so much shock value until you see so much of it, where it starts to kind of lose its the
Yeah.
first GoPro barrel shot with like Anthony Walsh, melted people's minds. Now you see that and it's just like standard. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
30-foot
that's
wave
true.
and a guy's getting barreled with a GoPro in his mouth.
What
It's
are-
like it's not anything new.
What are your thoughts
You know,
on
and it's kind of the same thing for
bringing-
FPV.
What are your thoughts on bringing FPV to like cinema now? Because Michael Bay did it with his last
With
film,
that ambulance movie,
ambulance
right?
film.
Yeah,
Like there's a
Ambulance. Yeah.
ton
I mean,
of FPV
I think it
drone
looks-
stuff in there.
It looks sick. It looks super cool. Like I have no problem with it. It's just like it's just one of the party tricks to me though.
Yeah,
You know,
the-
it's
Oh,
like
Joshua.
that's one
sports are
of the
doing it-
things you can do.
Sports are doing it too now. You see some like college games and NFL games are bringing
Right.
FPVs.
Those
in now,
ones
too.
look worse to me because it's just like
Do they?
it just doesn't look as good. Yeah, it just doesn't look as good. Obviously, like in a Michael Bay movie, it's going to be the best it can possibly
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
Joshua, I saw over the weekend. I saw Black Panther 2.
Did you?
Oh,
What did you think?
Wakanda
It
Forever.
it was so good. Like,
Oh,
yeah?
really? It
So
was really
good.
I'm
good?
getting,
Oh,
I'm
sick.
getting mixed feelings about it.
bro. I mean, I know me and Joshua went to the movies together when he was up here last, and we
Yeah,
went
we
to
saw
freaking Black Adam, which was trash. Black
Trash.
Panther.
Wait, did you guys go in thinking
Oh,
that
it was
Black
so
Adam was going to
good.
be good?
No, but I just
I
wanted to see
didn't.
what the
Okay.
hype was.
Because that comes down, dude. That's an HBLR at its best, a high budget, low rating. We probably
Oh,
Yeah.
exactly.
you know, where it's
I was
like,
gonna ask you
where
what
it's
that
exactly
meant.
what it was.
tons of budget, not a good
Yeah.
story, and just some action.
No, it was
you
tr-
sit
it
there,
was
it's
bad.
like
It
junk
was
food,
dumb.
and you
It
kind
was
of drool
dumb.
like, oh,
Okay,
and then you leave.
Black Panther 2. Like, I'm not even a big
High
like
budget, high rating?
Marvel. I'm not a big Marvel. I like Marvel Universe, but it's like I'm not a freaking geek about it. I loved it though. It was if standalone movie by itself, they did a good job. You don't really need to like. I know kind of what's going on in the Marvel Universe, but it's like you don't necessarily need to even watch the first one.
was
if you
3
didn't
hours
want to.
long,
But it
right?
was
3 hours long.
almost,
Did they do
no,
anything?
almost. But.
Did they do anything
Yeah,
to honor? It's Chadwick, right? Was the
Yeah,
was the
Chadwick
guy's
Yeah,
name?
Boseman?
yeah. They did the
did
very
they do anything to like honor
yeah.
him? Okay,
Yeah.
that's
The
cool.
whole they did a whole first. I mean, it's not really spoiling it, but they did this awesome whole first scene really before the movie even starts. That was like a funeral service for him. That was
Right.
actually really
That's
really
cool.
well done. So yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah, because like that
the
whole story with him
storyline
was crazy. Yeah,
because I was like, how
man.
are they gonna? we can end the show here in a second, but I was like, how are they going to like do this? And you always wonder, like when someone dies in real life, how are they going to play into this into the story? But they just did it really like obvious, almost like it was just yeah.
Well, and it's kind of like
it wasn't like they tried to like rework it like something happened in the story you didn't know of. They were just like, yeah, you'll see it, but
his time came. Dang. Sad
all
still though. I would love to talk more about movies. So if people are interested in hearing our thoughts on movies, I would love have an excuse to go to the
separate podcast
and watch a movie and then talk about it. That'd be fun.
We should actually do since now that we have an activity feature on here. We should do like trailer watches.
I love trailers.
Wait, does that work? Let's try it.
Sometimes
on
the plane.
YouTube's free. YouTube is free. So look, we can join.
Sometimes on movies, I just watch I'll just go through and watch all the trailers.
Yeah,
it's just like
I just
2
watch
minutes,
the trailers.
it's snappy, punchy. It's like a commercial for the movie. It's awesome.
Yo, I'm in here. You're hosting it, Caleb.
Join activity.
Does it actually? But like, how are we gonna? Unless people are watching this on Discord, like they're not gonna see it when we post it.
I just clicked on Warzone.
Me. All right, cool. Well, I feel like other than that, camera companies, bring your prices down a little bit lower. Let's,
That's so true. Let's make these bad boys affordable, shall we?
Let's make these bad boys affordable. Maybe come out with don't come out with so many. But then maybe you probably can't make them affordable.
Yeah, we want quality over quantity, please.
Yeah, I feel like there's just too many bodies.
Yeah.
A waterproof camera. A waterproof DSLR that you don't need housing for. That's cool.
This year alone, I think from all the brands, there are at least like 12 or 14 new cameras.
Wow.
Sony had so many. It was like
Sony had 6, I think.
That's a lot.
Fuji had 3.
And there's just so many. And I feel like, like you said, quality over quantity. Maybe come out with some innovative features that aren't just like kind of the same thing, just turned up a tiny bit or like dumbed down a tiny bit. No.
Yeah.
I mean, 6K is 4K is fine. Get the colors right. In 2023, it's only a year away, so these cameras are probably already being like, they're almost done being
built.
And
this is the last thing I'm gonna say, and we can move on. What Fuji did with this stack sensor and the XH2S is innovative because the readout speed is incredibly fast. It's 14-bit. So like you have it's a chunk of a camera system. So like more cameras in that space. Huh?
Nothing.
What?
I said it's a girth of a camera system.
It's a girth of a camera system. But yeah, like I think stuff like that makes it more appealing because it's data rich basically. You want data rich cameras.
Yeah, make your SD cards cheaper too.
With the tough
Just
cards.
like I start complaining about the price of everything. All right, let's end this.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay on.
Keep on sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on sunny side.
Are we rolling?
And this bird you cannot change.